So I have my rotor here. I'm gonna spray it with brake cleaner. All right. Clean it up, and you can see like spots where there's like thumbprint and such. So I clean all that stuff up. You know, it's a little oily and such, and it's actually rusty. You know, even though our skin is, or the oils from our skin has a, if I can remember right, it's a little bit acidic, and it's also, you know, also a little bit of saltiness. So there's a little bit of corrosion. That's one side. It's the other side. That's it. That's all you need to do. Spray it. Brake cleaner dries really fast. So within a couple minutes, this thing will be good to go to be mounted. So let's go back to the car. Let's stick it in. Oh. Okay. So now I can't touch that surface, but you know, you touch it like a CD player. All right, so touch it around the edges, and it should be fine. So let me look at this thing, how far it goes in, the depth of it. And actually, let me grab the stock, the original one. I want to see. Where's my original rotor? See if there's a slight difference or not. Let's see. Okay, looks to me like it sits in the same depth. Up over here. I'm gonna look up on the top here, just by eyeball, you know, along the space between this shield here and the rotor. I'm just gonna eyeball it. And it looks like it's about 3 millimeters. So let's see how much of a difference this is. I mean, remember, this thing is thicker than the stock one by 1.5 millimeters. This is 11 millimeters. Stock is 9.5 millimeters. Let's see. It's yeah, it's a little bit closer, just barely. So it probably goes out not just one side or the other. I think it goes out on both directions. But you know, 1.5 millimeters is nothing. So even if it's only one direction, it's probably almost insignificant. But actually, the better way to eyeball it is actually eyeballing the rotor itself to the caliper, where it's centered. It should be pretty centered because the stock one is pretty close to being centered. Okay. So here's my bolts. So here's the 2 mounting bolts for the caliper, the rear. There's a little bit of rust on them, and the rust is actually not from the bolts themselves. The rust is actually from the caliper. So the outside caliper, this outside part here is made of steel, and the red part is actually aluminum. So this steel here is where it's supposed to be. That's where the rust is coming from. These bolts. These bolts are treated. You know, it's not zinc plated. You know, like the regular galvanizing that you see with like a chain link fence. These type of bolts are actually it's even more than that. It's a little bit more involved, a little bit more pricey of a process, and a much better corrosion protection, much more durable. So I think I'm gonna call those good. You know, I mean, they are what they are. Can't really do anything about them. Oh, okay. So I'll get this back in here. The interesting thing with these calipers, these rear calipers, is that they're pretty big. Not the size of the actual clamping stuff, but you know, the whole mechanism back here. It's like bigger than most other calipers that I've looked at. You know, for its size. I mean, with the mechanism and everything. the parking brake mechanism. So basically just get probably at least 3 turns in on the bolt on the thread. So it could hold its own weight up on the bottom side. Okay, I believe I got that in. Turn in a few turns. Okay, so now I just turn it with a wrench. Much faster than doing it by hand. But here I'm not tightening it, I'm just spinning it in until it stops. Spins it in until it stops, then I can start to tighten it. Just keep on going back and forth between the top and bottom bolt. Yeah. So now starting to just about touch. Okay, bottom one's bottomed out. Top one is okay. Top one's bottom out. Let's look at the spacing. The spacing right here. The centering. Let's see if it's centered or not. Let's see. Hard to. Let's see. So it looks pretty centered. So the stem space on that side. This side has pretty close to the same amount. I think the inside has a little more space. Let me stick my head in there. Yeah, I think the inside has a little bit more space. Just barely a little bit more, not much. Maybe like a millimeter or so more than the outside does, which is actually should be about right. Because on these sliding type, where there's only a piston on one side, usually that's the side that pushes in more than the other side does. Even though theoretically they should, they should self-centered, but it's been in my experience that the side with the pistons usually the side that pushes in a little bit more. That side having a little bit more clearance, would be nice. Okay, so now you just need to tighten those 2 bolts up. Again, it's that 14 millimeter, and the spec on that is 40 foot-pounds. So I got my snap-on. 40 foot-pounds. It's actually, there's a range. The bottom range is 39 foot-pounds to up to, I think, what was it? It was like in the upper 40s, like 47 to 48 foot-pounds, from 39 to like 48 or something like that. I'm gonna switch it to foot-pounds, so newton meters, foot-pounds. But I'm just gonna use 40. Actually, I should use the middle. Let's see, it's 39. Ideally, you want to go at the middle. 39. I think the top range was it 46 or 48? Let's call it at least 46. So let's go up to 42. So that makes it 3 more or so. That should be all right. Go within the range. I can't remember exactly what the range was. I know the bottom range was 39. What was the top? Oh, I forget. Anyways, that's close enough. 42. It's close enough to the middle of the range. So I'm gonna turn it a few times and not get the full torque down yet. Just get it. You know, you always work your way up to the torque. You never, whatever the torque setting is, you never go straight to the torque setting. You always want to go. Always want to go from, you know, close to the torque setting. Work your way up close to torque setting between whatever the various bolts, so that way it'd be nice and uniform. In this case, there's only 2. It's like kind of like, you know, when you tighten up the lug nuts on the wheels. You know, the lug nuts on these ones are like 80 foot-pounds. So you don't just go 80 foot-pounds, 80, 80, and 80, and call it done. You go a little bit. You know, you go like 40, 40, 40, 40. Then you jump up to like, you know, 60, 66, 60, then 80. Right? Go up to it. So I'm gonna do that, going up to this number that I set up. Okay, it should be there, and you're gonna hear it. So it vibrates and it beeps. So that's it. Whoa. That was 41.6. Close enough to 42, huh? So that's good there. I'm gonna call it good. Now you just need to put the wheel back on. And initially, because the brake pads were pushed all the way apart, it's gonna take a couple of steps on the brake pedal to get the pads back in. So initially, when you first step on it, you're like, oh, why is it so soft or loose? That's because it needs to take up that slack first here. That's it. So once I get the 2 bottom, or the two backs in and bedded in, I'll make a video on the bedding in and the run, just to see how hot it is. So previously, on the previous video, with the Brembo oversized rotors up front and the stock in the back, the stock was definitely hotter when I touched the spoke of the wheel. It was way hotter than the front. The front was hot, but it wasn't burning hot. The back was hot enough to burn you if you left your hand on too long. Okay, so thanks for watching.